Hello, good morning, and welcome to Puke. So Puke is the kiwi fruit capital of the world, and we're actually just stopping by here to get some coffee this morning before we continue on our adventures. And honestly, we're not off to a great start. The first cafe that I had planned kind of in our day itinerary is called The Daily, and to our surprise, it was actually closed today. Now, to be fair, I didn't look at the hours online, but I just assumed that it would be open on a Sunday morning, and I was wrong. But that's okay. Here we are on the side of the road into Puke. We're about to go grab a coffee before we go see some beautiful stuff today, so come along for the ride. $7 for 3 crab sticks and chips.
That's pretty good, actually.
A fish burger and a drink for $8.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
So we decided to stop into Marigold Cafe, and each of us got a dirty chai to go. Rachel just got it as is, but I got mine iced with 2 extra shots of espresso, even though I already had a coffee this morning. I feel like our coffee at home doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
Probably because we don't buy very good coffee, hun. Like, we know that it's probably not the best to get the cheapest coffee, so we'll always buy like the second cheapest coffee at the grocery store. And then when we go out to one of these cafes, we're like, oh, this is really good. You know, it's one of those things where we've driven past this town so many times to get to other destinations, but we've never actually stopped in. So if you don't stop in and look around, you never know what there is here.
So on our way into town, we saw this giant kiwi sign that states that Puke is the kiwi fruit capital of the world. And we got some kiwis to enjoy in the kiwi fruit capital.
Honey, you have to say kiwi. It's not a kiwi, it's a kiwi fruit.
That's what I said.
You said that we got some kiwis.
Yeah.
We got some kiwi fruit.
This is a kiwi.
No, you're supposed to say kiwi fruit here.
We got some kiwi fruit, which I typically just call a kiwi.
You can't call it kiwi here. In New Zealand, they don't call it a kiwi. They call it a kiwi fruit.
Well, I'm gonna eat this little thing. So we're gonna enjoy our kiwi fruit in front of the giant sign. So this being the kiwi fruit capital of the world, I expect this to be one of the best kiwis I've ever had. Let's give it a try.
Kiwi fruit.
Oh my god, dude.
Cheers. I feel like we're doing a shotgun.
It is really good. Like really, really good. So there's a store here in Puke called Christmas Magic Makers, which it looks like a permanent storefront, and it's just like a Christmas store. We're like coming into, we're in September. So I don't know, maybe it's not a permanent storefront, but it certainly looks like it. Christmas store here in Puke, weird.
$3 a person, we should go.
It's either 2 or 3. One of them was, okay, it's been corrected to 3, yeah. It's pretty cheap. And this Christmas store is right next to a record store, which actually looks pretty cool. We'll have to come back and check this out. Literally just opened the door, so I think it's open. Maybe we'll go in and check it out. I was just listening to this album. Climbatize, that was my email when I was a kid, Climbatize 93. I thought it was so cool. In the back of this place, there is a coffee shop too. This is what I mean though, if you don't stop in, you'll never know that these places exist. Definitely one of the cooler places that we've just stumbled in by accident here in New Zealand. So according to the sign at the top of the hill, this is a 30-minute hike, and it feels like we are going straight down on like a 90-degree angle.
So steep!
There's steps, like there are stairs. There's no guardrail. Like, holy shit, this is like a ladder. Crazy steep. It's an enjoyable hike, and it's fucking gorgeous, but it's also, it's insanely steep. The way back up is gonna be very tough. Here, I'll turn it around. Watch Rachel.
Oh my god, I literally have to walk down sideways. So you just have to be a little bit careful. But actually, it was less than 30 minutes coming down because we just got to, well, we're definitely at the bottom of this canyon. And it's funny because this reminds me so much of back home. This reminds me so much of BC. So it makes me feel like there would be like bears or cougars in the area, but alas, we're in New Zealand. So we don't have any of that here. Maybe birds. So beautiful. I have to say, if you can't tell, I'm so happy today. These are like my favorite things to do. Explore new little towns, find this. Oh my God, wait to see this. This is gorgeous.
We are currently going to our second waterfall of the day, which is Okere Falls, and I hope I'm saying that right. Please let me know if I'm not. But first, we're gonna go to the power station and lookout, which is like just around the corner here, and then 15 minutes away, there's another set of waterfalls called Tutea.
So that was like literally a 30-second walk to that one, and then just down this way, apparently 15 minutes, we're gonna find a second waterfall. Well, our third waterfall of the day.
Fun fact that I learned from reading the sign back there, apparently a quarter of the world's power comes from water. It's like turbines in water. That produces a quarter of the entire world's power. Not that specific one, just like water and turbines in general, which is super interesting.
So people actually go rafting down this, which is crazy because the water is so powerful. But right behind me are some caves and we're about to walk through them. So let's check them out.
Holy.
Oh. Watch your head.
This is really cool and kind of freaky. How deep does that go? Oh my God. I'll see if I can turn the camera around and if you can see it with the light. But it looks like it just like gets narrower and more narrow until it like stops. Oh, this is freaky. Dude, no way.
Are you guys going in? Oh my gosh, have fun. It's perfect height for her. There's some adventurous children in here. Should we do it? Because everyone else is?
Sure.
No, I can't go. You think so?
Yeah, it's super easy.
Does it go through? Oh my God, I can't do that. I don't know, my body's telling me no. I didn't know, I was scared of small spaces.
Neither of us really wanted to go through that little cave that you had to like duck down for. It looked a little bit freaky, but lots of kids were doing it. So something interesting we just learned, that during times of war, there are sources that suggest that women and children may have hidden in those caves. A crazy thought to think about because there were no stairs back then. So they would just like use ropes to get down the side of the mountain and like hide in the caves. Now you can go in and check them out for yourself. Super easy hike. It's a little bit busy, but it's a very cool experience.
Okay, so that cave experience just reminded me of a story that I feel like I should actually tell online. So when I was like in my early 20s, I started really wanting to travel, and this is before, you know, TikToks and Instagram Reels and stuff, but there was Instagram and there was like travel influencers. And I remember watching these edits of people in places like Thailand and Bali and the Philippines and stuff like that. And they'd be jumping off these huge cliffs and going and doing all this like epic, crazy stuff. And I was super young, I was like 21. So when my ex-boyfriend and I decided that we were gonna go traveling for the first time together, we went to the Philippines and then I went to Taiwan on my own little side journey. I remember there was this day we were on like Siquijor Island and it took us ages to find this one particular cave exploring adventure thing. we drove around for ages, and by the time we got there, like my whole body was just telling me no. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And so we didn't end up doing it, and I felt really guilty because I was like, oh, well, you know, I'm not adventurous enough or whatever. And then there was like a couple other experiences like that where we went to this really popular cliff dive in Sakihor Island, which funny enough is closed now because it was too dangerous for people. And we got there and I was standing there for ages and I just couldn't like bring myself to jump off the cliff. And then so I ended up doing the smaller one, but still. And then there was like all these other kind of just little experiences. And I remember being so disappointed in myself because I saw all these people traveling and doing all this kind of epic shit. And I wanted to be that so bad. And now looking back at it, I was just telling Nick, like, I'd love to give that person a hug, you know, my 21-year-old self a hug, because I remember thinking like, oh, maybe I'm just not cut out for travel. Maybe I'm just not adventurous enough. Maybe I'm just not the type of person that could travel. And I think there's a fine line, like of course step outside your comfort zone in your life, 100%, but also you don't have to do the shit that you don't want to do. And I know that's just like a little cave and lots of little kids were doing it and that's fine. But like now that I'm older and more confident in myself and who I am, I have no problem saying no to stuff. And I just wish that I had that advice at the time, that like there are so many different ways to travel. You're looking at those people go down that crazy white water rafting and like going down that crazy waterfall and everything, and I can now look at that and go, wow, that's so cool, but it's not for me, you know? You're never gonna see me doing that. Like you don't have to do that to enjoy travel. There's so many other things to do. Like I will just post up at a winery and that will be my travels and I'm completely fine with that. Yeah, I was just thinking that and kind of was reminded of that today. But this time I don't look back at it and feel disappointed in myself. I just wish that I could tell that to my younger self. Cheers, honey.
Cheers.
This is local craft beer. I got a lager, Nick got a hazy, and apple cider vinegar chips, and they're so good.
Cheers.
But the real reason we are coming to the Okere Falls store today is for Nick to try their award-winning toastie. Yes, this place has a toastie called Figgy in the Middle, which was crowned the best toastie in the entire country.
That is far and above the best toastie I've ever had in my entire life. All of the flavors pair together perfectly. You have to trust me when I tell you, this is so, so good. Highly, highly recommend.
And then they were able to do just a cheese toastie for me with the vegan cheese. I'm not sure what this jam is here. The bread is to die for. And they put like sea salt or something on it. And whatever this jam is, it's like tomato sauce. Oh my God, it's amazing. It is so good.
I'm definitely gonna be thinking about this for a long time. We've just arrived at Papamoa Hills and we are about to go, well, I think it's up this hill, but there's also a bunch of other hills. So I'm not sure which one we're going to. So this is the second gate that we've encountered, but from the signs we read, this is actually an active farm with livestock. So we have to be very careful to make sure that the gates stay closed. Also, watch out for all of the poo. So it looks like we're getting quite a bit closer to the summit. We just stopped for a quick water break, but the terrain is just like a pretty wide gravel path, so it's not too difficult to make your way up. Which I think makes perfect sense as to why it's so busy, is because it's very accessible. There's a massive car park at the bottom. But I think this and the Mount Maunganui hike are the two like major hikes that a lot of locals do here. So just be aware if you are coming that it is a pretty busy hike. There's bound to be a lot of kids, but it's very beautiful. There's like these beautiful green rolling hills the entire way up.
I think we're going all the way up there. This is amazing. I can't believe we haven't done this hike before. Look at what I just found.
And with that, thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.